Hey guys, we are down to day 9 of Sorority Stories. What I wanted to do today, I know yesterday I said I was going to give you more insight into the sort of content I'd be creating for our VIPs, but I just had an idea in the shower just now. That's where I have all my best ideas. And shout out to Frankie for this. Frankie watched or listened to my episode about sort of a book club. I recommended the book Mindset, and Frankie volunteered to come on board with that. I'm not sure that we're quite ready yet. I don't want to get people involved and then let them down by not sort of keeping my end of the bargain. So it is one step at a time. I'm not asking for volunteers or anything like that. But what I did want to suggest is that I know many of you are content creators in your own right, and bloggers, the written word, or vloggers, the visual word. If there's a topic that you'd like to write about, and it doesn't have to be strictly pageant related, but it would be good if it's at least indirectly pageant related. I talk about mindset, for example. It's not directly pageant related, but it's very important. If you would like to write a short blog or shoot a short vlog, and I'd say the blog about 500 words, which is about, let's say you open Word and it's normal sort of font size, maybe a page at most. Or if you'd like to shoot a vlog, let's say around 10 minutes, about there. And if provided, obviously, like if you're writing a blog, it doesn't have grammatical mistakes, it's not racist or homophobic or anything like that, so just common sense. So if it's on point and of good enough quality, then I'd be happy to feature it on our upcoming website, and sort of publish it. Like it'd almost be a magazine, but it's not. But I'd be happy to publish it, and then it'll be linked on my social media and things like that, and in our private Facebook group. And you could always put your own social media links in there as well. It might help you get a bit of traction, or show the pageant world, and I think this is the most important thing, show the pageant world that there are other strings to your bow that they may not have seen yet. Because very often, I think the pageant world is very much Instagram centric at the moment. It's Facebook, I think, is not really going to come back with a vengeance. We all have it, but we don't really focus on it. And TikTok, there are a lot of pageant people who aren't on TikTok or aren't fully utilizing it, and I throw myself in that category. But so I think pageant world is still very Instagram centric, and the issue with that is that it leads to that very curated highlight reel sort of syndrome. So in that highlight reel, very often we can't express all of ourselves, or we can't show the world maybe the other sides to our personalities. Like, for example, if you are a really good writer, maybe you feel like you can't really put that on your Instagram because it doesn't get any traction. So if you're a blogger or a vlogger and you'd like a chance to be featured, keep it, as I said, under 500 words or, 10 minutes. Keep it on a topic that's somehow pageant relevant. Keep it clean, keep it on point. And if you want to run the subject by me, so if you write it or shoot it, it might be a best idea if you run it by me, like the topic idea by me first, and you can do that by DM me. So direct message me on one of my platforms, or send me an email on info@thepageantproject.com, not thepageantsorority.com, info@thepageantproject.com. And let's just make sure that the topic is something that I feel that would be of relevance to our members. And then obviously you go and shoot it and create it. And if we've agreed on the topic, and it's good enough quality, then we can publish it and put it out to our members. You can get a bit of attraction, but you can also start, I think this is really important, so you're not only showing other sides to your personality, but you're also giving back to the community. Because I don't know about you, but very often I feel pageant land is about shouting about ourselves and hoping someone pays attention. And a lot of you, including some of my closest pageant friends, have just said, I wish there was a way of giving back, or I really want to give back. And frankly, sometimes it can be difficult to actually work out what's a way that I can give back outside of responding to your DMs and coaching a girl or mentoring a girl. That's nice, but it is incredibly labor intensive. You know, you can't mentor 100 or 1,000 girls at the same time. But, you know, if you write an article or shoot a vlog, you might just inspire someone or help someone around the world that you didn't even expect, right? One of the greatest gifts that I have been given because I've interviewed so many people around the world is that I've made connections that I never would have expected. South Africa, Canada, Netherlands, Norway. And I never planned that in advance, but it is one of the things that I am truly grateful for. If, let's say, I do travel to a country and I know someone there, I do have the opportunity to send them a message and, you know, catch up for a coffee or a drink. And I'd like to pass that gift, that opportunity on to you. So if you're a blogger or you're a vlogger, let's say send me a message first so we can make sure the subject is something that I feel is relevant to our members. And then you can go away, create it, shoot it. Obviously, I'm going to trust to you that you will make sure the grammar is correct, or if it's a video, that the production values are there. It doesn't have to be fancy, right? You can see I'm in my car shooting this. But, you know, with a video, not a lot of sound in the background, not jittery sort of, but, you know, someone holding a camera and it's bumping up and down. Or you don't have a lot of, you know, you haven't shot it in the gym when you're on the treadmill and there's all these people staring at you and making weird sounds and, you know, weird gestures in the back. Just that sort of thing, which I think is common sense. So we're definitely not looking for perfection. You don't need to have a professional studio set up. You know, you don't need to do an essay if you're submitting something written. I'm not going to pull you up on things like that. But we do want it to be a high standard, yet we also want it to be authentic. And look, if you followed me this far, you know kind of my style. You know, I'm in a car, it's hardly a professional studio, but it is relatively quiet, and I've got it set up on a little, one of those, the devices you use to hold your phone when you're using it as a GPS. So I'm not holding it in my hand and it's jittering. I'm not outside where the wind's blowing and all that sort of thing. So if that's you, let's set it up. And moving forward, if you have any suggestions as to how you'd like to get involved, really do let me know, like Frankie did. I'm really grateful for that, because sometimes in sort of the crazy world that I operate, I'm always trying to help you guys by adding value and creating content. And I do lose track of I do lose sight of the fact that other people, not that they have things to say, but I sometimes feel like I have to do everything myself. And sometimes I feel it's just easier to do everything by myself. But I think that's a problem, and that's a big shame, because then we lose out, you guys lose out on the ability to give back. But I also lose out on the ability to have other opinions in my circle. And I really value that. I detest cancel culture, and I detest tribalism, and I detest you versus me thinking. I think there's a way that we can all win in the world. So that's sort of the bigger picture with that. So I'll leave it there. DM me or email me on info@thepageantproject.com. Let's get the subject sorted out. Then you can go away and create, and I can publish it. Hopefully get you some traction and, you know, help you feel that you can give back to the pageant world. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode.